When you mess with our fans, we need to make it hurt. K-Pop Demon Hunters is a Netflix original and is the biggest surprise film of the year so far, at least. It was written and directed by Chris Appelhans and Maggie Kang, and also written by Dana Jimenez as well as Hannah Machan. If I mispronounce any of these names, I do apologize. And this features 3 K-pop girls. We have Rumi, the main character with purple hair. We have Mira with the red hair. And we also have Zoe with the black hair. We don't have Becky with the good hair, unfortunately. Disappointed! Curse you, Becky with the good hair! So they're a trio named Huntrix. They're really popular. They have a manager, Bobby. And they are doing really, really good, even though they're mentally, physically, emotionally burned out in every possible way. But they do everything for the love of the music, the love of the money, and the love of the fans. The fans are the most important thing when it comes to being a celebrity, especially a K-pop idol. And, well, I happen to love some K-pop music. Not all K-pop music. Some of it does kind of sound the same. There are some groups I don't necessarily care for, especially now. There were some groups years ago I cared about, like Blackpink. Twice has a song in this called Takedown. That's why the song was so goddamn good. And there's also, boy bands. There's a lot of, really, really talented people in this. Maybe they're shoved into the goddamn limelight, and there's a seedy underbelly when it comes to the K-pop, industry and everything, as far as producers, but I digress. This is all about a bright, colorful animation just filled to the brim with energy flick that is honestly so fucking surprising. I didn't expect this to be any good at all based on the trailer. Now, even though I like K-pop music, got the sweet shirt, the groups I just mentioned and everything, but when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this doesn't look like my cup of tea, but I had viewers request it. They were like, please watch it, please watch it. Early reviews seemed to be positive, but who knows how well that was going to hold up. Well, K-Pop Demon Hunters is really fucking good. Bit surprised by that. Really fucking good. From the moment that it starts, it grabs you visually. It grabs you with the soundtrack. It is so fucking catchy. It is so fucking eye-popping. The story, while not the most wholly original when you break it down, it's about the power of friendship, being who you truly are, accepting who you truly are, and understanding that your friends, your true friends, will stick there by your side. And also demon hunting. We get some cool demon hunting visuals and just a breezy pace where this movie, I think, clocks in at around, if not just under 90 minutes, and it doesn't slow down. It gives the story a chance to breathe, but it doesn't really slow down. There's also a few things that I'll talk about in the spoiler section that really surprised me, but you have Arden Cho, who is great, by the way. She's great. She plays Rumi, the main character that is hiding a secret. You have Mira, who's voiced by Mei Hong, who is more of the direct type, kind of, not necessarily standoffish, but very direct and everything, but also is hiding a softer side, shall we say. And then you have Zoe, who is a dark-haired one that's a bit wanting to please everybody. Ji Young Yu, who was Megan in Until Dawn. She picked a better project to be in instead of that. Until Dawn was shit. You also have somebody on the other side, a boy band that suddenly shows up, the Saja Boys. And then basically, he's Jinu, An Ho Seop, probably butchered that horribly. Daniel Day Kim is in this. Ken Young is in this. Liza Koshy, who is in A Family Affair and picked a better project here. And Lee Byung-hun, who plays the villain Gima. There's a W in there, but whatever, I guess that's how they pronounce that stuff. Basically, the idea is these 3 K-pop girls, Huntrix, they must also hunt demons. And they must band together. And then once, basically, Rumi ends up kind of having doubts and kind of losing her voice because of an aforementioned secret that will be mentioned later on, even though I think it's pretty obvious where they're fucking going. We get some backstory on her. We get some backstory on Jinu, and we get a little backstory on the various characters. But it really is about, the K-pop industry, how fans will ship these characters. I feel so stupid. I'm 44 years old talking about that. But when certain groups come together, they'll ship them. You guys seriously need help. Honestly, you guys really need help because there's nothing wrong with just enjoying stuff and not getting that deep into it. As somebody that has been deep into wrestling for 40 fucking years and has been deep into horror movies, trust me, there are better things out there. But, yeah, the idea is they will do everything for their fans, and when the demons try to get at their fans, they will hunt them down. So it's really good. It's really, really fucking good. I encourage you guys to check this out. This has incredibly infectious energy and is just a wild ride from beginning to end. Even the animation, which I thought looked a little janky in the trailer, actually plays out really, really nice in the full feature. There are some eye-popping parts. There are some, and it's not super violent, but it's enough to where I think it might scare some younger kids. But if you're a big K-pop fan, if you like great soundtracks, I may have to get this soundtrack. It's really fucking good and great voice acting. And it's very, very well done. So it's on Netflix. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. So, Rumi's secret is her father was a demon. She has these markings, or these purple markings that can turn pink when your demon powers get going. And she's been fighting this ever since. There's Celine, voiced by Youngji Kim. God, I'm butchering these names. I am so sorry to anybody from South Korea that is watching this. I say South Korea because there's nobody in North Korea, I think, that has internet that would want to watch a filthy American talk about the worst Korea. South Korea, though, at least has energy to it. And some good. So anyway, basically there is this villain, Gima, that is, basically makes a deal with Jinwoo that, well, it turns out that Jinwoo maybe is doing things for his own nefarious means. He wants voices inside his head, memories inside his head of what happened to his family to vanish. If he comes up with this demon K-pop boy group, which kind of a little deal right there, they will end up, this villain will take away those voices. They just have to win this big competition and make it to where this thing called the Golden Honmoon, which is something that goes over the world, despite the fact that this has been apparently something going on throughout history, like decades and decades and centuries of trios of women singing and using their voices to keep demons back. It hasn't really worked all that well because the demons are still here, but I digress. I did like the little history piece where they showed, back in the samurai days and then in the World War II days and stuff like that. That was really nice. And very eye-popping animation. Very good animation. So we do see that Rumi ends up kind of having voice issues. Part of that is due to the fact that her demon, personality is starting to come up. The markings are starting to go. They're really starting to go to her neck. So it's really starting to affect her. The demon hunting in the beginning is very nice. There's actually this point where they're supposed to be at this 50,000 seat stadium for a concert. Their manager Bobby's wondering what's going on. Then they have to fight some demons in hilarious ways, and then they arrive, and the music's really fucking good. Like, really, really fucking good. Like, I'm very, very surprised by how the music is. I mean, I'd take a look at the soundtrack listing if I were you. So, why is the soundtrack so catchy? Why am I enjoying this is what I wrote down several times on my notes. Jinwoo makes a deal. Saja boys are born. But before that, while on a little bit of a staycation, Rumi decides she wants to release their new song that they've been having in the can called Golden. They got a golden ticket, and Golden ends up becoming a smash hit. But then, well, when Saja boys show up, it's obvious that there's a bit of a connection because you have the women going nuts over these guys. You also have the fans of Huntrix. But the reason that this is going on is Jinwoo is getting a bunch of souls for Gima, and that way he can be free of his memories. And it's totally innocent. He didn't do anything wrong. Why would you guys think that? There's no third act twist here. And the animation style just really, once again, I just have to say, really does pop. This is very infectious, is what I noted. So Twice did the song called Takedown. That actually explains really why that song was so good. Even the fight scenes are well done. There's one breathtaking scene on like a subway. I mean, that's really nice. And there's also one part in the third act, like the final part where they're at the goddamn concert hunting demons banding back together. That was really nice. So you take the fans' souls, you feed Gima, and you get back. You get back what you get, like, maybe to go on into the afterlife, I guess. There's one point where there is kind of a gateway for Jinwoo to talk to Rumi. I feel so stupid saying these names because they just don't sound normal. But then again, I'm a goofy American. There's a three-eyed pigeon with a top hat, and then there is a blue tiger. Oh, South Korea, what are you like? And Jinu knows the secret because he recognizes the markings and stuff like that. The markings get revealed because Zoe and Mira don't know that she is part demon, and they are sworn to kill demons. Celine was somebody that basically raised Rumi, but knows about that, but says you got to hide this stuff until we can take care of it. So he sung for his basically we get a flashback. Junu sung for his family, and Yima helped, and his family was able to basically eat, and sleep as comfortably as possible. It actually turns out in the third act twist that Junu actually did that just for himself and abandoned his family, and that has haunted him ever since. Personally, I would have just taken the family there and done that because, yes, I can understand wanting to sleep comfortably, but family comes first. I'm just saying right now, as somebody that has lived with their family for most of their lives due to, housing costs and all that, I will never put anybody above my family. Relationship, friendship, whatever. I will never put anybody above my family. So, he basically is trying to do this to, sway his own guilt. And you got to split the fans or share the fans, as it were. There's this funny part where we get the shipping thing between various, members of the groups and stuff like that. And this one little girl makes this, makes this picture. I think she's probably like 8 for this, for Jinu, and it says, "You have a beautiful soul." Innocence of a goddamn kid. Good lord. That'll teach you. No, I'm kidding. And then basically more shit builds up where Rumi is torn because she sees greatness in him, but also doesn't realize that she's being played. Other members of Huntrix are like, okay, we need to really win this competition because if we don't, it's the Idol Awards. We don't win this, we're fucked. We get a duet between Jinu and Rumi where they're doing "We Could Be Free." I don't know if that's the actual name of the song, but that's one of the lyrics I got. And again, eye-popping visuals, very good stuff. And then time for the Idol Awards. And there's been this self-doubt with Rumi, but she finds her voice, but she still hasn't revealed she's a demon. Well, then she does a solo part where the other bandmates are back there, and then demons show up in the place of the bandmates and end up exposing her marks and stuff like that, and she's freaking out. And then the others are like, we're gonna kill you, we gotta do this. Oh wait, there's more fucking demons going on here, and why in the world didn't you tell us that? What the fuck, we're your friends, we would have stuck by you. And Bobby, I do have to say, actually has a pretty good character, maybe not character arc, but just like some good lines here about trying to be a good manager. They do capture the insanity of K-pop fans in general with multiple shots of like fans literally fucking crying. And they see her markings and this kind of stuff. And Jinu reveals he lied to her. And then we basically are getting the Saja boys performing, but then the girls band back together. After Celine basically says she won't destroy Rumi, that there is potential in her. Sealing this golden honeymoon will... I feel so silly saying this stuff, breaking it down. But the movie's so good that I don't care. And they basically end up banding together. Rumi comes to grips with her demon side. And then they are just going to... They're just going to go full blast. Yima's there. And... basically, the performance is going on, but then they destroy some demons. And it looks like, oh shit, Rumi's voice isn't enough to stop, the voices aren't enough to stop Yima this time. He's going to go full blast. He's got this demon sword, all this, and then, well, she's fucked, and then suddenly, Jinu steps in front because he realizes what he did. It's kind of like a Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker situation when the Emperor was frying him, and then he just stared at him and fucking emotion on a goddamn blank, helmet. On just a helmet where the eyebrows, nothing can raise, and had more emotion than like anything in the fucking prequels. But I digress. He basically says, you set me free. So I give my soul to you. I guess he had a good soul, so that's why she has it now. And then they take down Gima easily. I don't know why they didn't do that to begin with, but then we went and had a movie, and it's fine. And now they back to the grind, accepting, being fans and they're adoring fans, accepting the fact that, time to relax is limited, I guess. Whatever. Not the most wholly original story, but K-Pop Demon Hunters is very, very good. In fact, it's great. It is fucking great. A+. I didn't expect that. I expected maybe a C+ to a B- in all honesty when I saw the trailer. And from the very beginning, I'm like, okay, this might be good. And then by the end, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm standing up and fucking cheering this. So yeah, A+. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Retland. Until we meet again, happy trails to you.